1991 was the World Cup that propelled rugby beyond the clubhouse walls. This week, we talk to those who reached the dizzying heights of the final at Twickenham.
Well, now the team's on the way out. There's Australia getting a fairly raucous reception from the crowd. But a lot of applause as well.
Leading into the final, I got quite crook, and I think it was just the stress and the pressure and the anxiety. And you always feel a bit more pressure captaining a team. You're always conscious of what's happening. Just wondering if the guys are switched on, if they're in the right frame of mind, if there's any stones that have been unturned. You've always got those sort of pressures. But the fortunate thing, I had a lot of very experienced players around me.
If you look back in that team and you pick the world's best team at that moment, we probably had 9 players. So you can't win a World Cup if you haven't got 9 players in the world's best.
We left nothing to chance. We made sure that if 2 front rowers were replaced, who'd play in the front row. We knew that anything that went wrong in the game, we knew how to change it, we knew how to get plan B.
Derek Bevan sets the 1991 World Cup in motion.
For some reason, we definitely allowed ourselves to be conned a little bit again by the Aussie sort of psychology, mental machine. Bob Dwyer did a job on us in terms of it would be terrible for the game if England win the World Cup. They're boring, they'll set the game back 20 years. But we did fall for it, in my view.
Some of the guys, have sort of said, Will decided to change tactics, and I never agreed with it, and I regret it massively.
Will and I have disagreed on this for a number of years. We did change our tactics, but we got it wrong.
Anyone who's played rugby will realise that if a little back decides to change tactics and the forwards don't agree with you, there's no way you're changing tactics. We thought, we don't want to get drawn into a tactical kicking game. Let's try and actually play ball in hand just a little bit more.
There was a change, but from my memory, it wasn't a major change. I mean, just as far as the back's concerned, there was a certain area we wanted to target in the back line, and it was an agreement that we had.
You can't change your style of tactic overnight. You've either got it or you haven't.
Carling looping round, out to Underwood, but he can't hold it. And Campese gets a boot to it. And Rob Andrew did very well there to turn towards the touchline.
We had caused them problems. We had lots of breaks, and we were just one more pass from getting through.
Now England have got some space. Guscott.
I looked up, I had Rory Underwoods, I had probably Gus Scott's, and I had Winterbottom. So Winterbottom got the ball, so I had to make a decision.
A knock forward by Campese, and a penalty given against him for a deliberate knock-on. He went for it one-handed, and that's the yardstick the referees use.
If I turn and chase, it's 3v1, I'm gone. But as a forward, their skills aren't as good as backs. So if I knew if I could hit him, his reflexes weren't bang, bang. He had to catch it, then take his time. So that's why I went for it. What would you have done in my position?
For some reason, they went back to playing 10-man rugby, and we thought, that's a lot easier for us to handle. Whereas if they had kept attacking us on that day in the second half, that would have been hard to beat.
Australian hooker with the ball, just sorting out the line-out signals. And Opahengawi gathering it in two-handed. The Australians trying to roll it off the side. England in trouble here. It's a try.
When you pull on a gold jersey, you like to run in 5 and 6 tries, 50 metres out, interchange between forwards and backs. Great movement of ball, and we only got one lousy try that day. We got it from a 5-metre court line-out rolling maul. It was the most unspectacular of tries.
They had one chance, peel the line out, bang, they scored. It was clinical, it was done very well, very fast. They caught us unawares, and that was, that's the difference. In a sense, that is the difference. We had a lot of chances. We weren't clinical with any of ours, we weren't precise enough.
England must win the ball though. And that's it! The final whistle blows. Australia said from day one they weren't coming here to run second, and they've taken the trophy. But a really magnificent challenge from England. They gave it absolutely everything.
It's the only game I would like back as a player. It's the only one I would like to play again. And I think a lot of us feel that.
Geez, I would love to have won a World Cup, more than anything. But I think, in all honesty, they were a better side.
At the end of the day, people don't remember how we won it, they just remember that we did win it. So I think, you know, how good it was to actually win and to be in the right place at the right time. And probably how I would have died or gone to my rugby grave with regrets had we not won that day.
The moment he has been working and waiting for.